Hey guys, what is up, Phoenix here, and I'm back again in Tarkov with a relatively quick PSA video today. So, first and foremost, if you haven't jumped into the game since maybe yesterday, the day before, and you have the factory key, this is probably really relevant. So yesterday a change was made. It was a very minor change, depending on how you look at it, and it may not have been the best decision, depending on how you look at it. So, factory key now has uses, unfortunately. So, for anyone who's unaware, some keys do have usage, and this can be best explained with things like the marked key, which leads you to a relatively high-yielding loot room. In there, you'll find things like gold chains and high-powered weaponry, and it makes sense, not from a realism perspective, but from a gameplay perspective, it's understandable why you wouldn't necessarily want someone farming that room. Factory key, very similar. It allows you to get to 2 extracts on factory. These extracts typically aren't camped by players and allow you to actually leave one of the least useful maps for looting. It can also be used on customs. There are 2 doors in a little shack, and it allows you to use the shortcut. Again, with the uses, each one of those doors will count as a use, so you can only use it on customs a total of 25 times, if that's what you're doing. Factory, every door you use it on is a use. So every time you extract using one of those key required doors, that will be a use. So, personally, don't think it's the best decision, but nevertheless, it's the one that was made, and this could change. Earlier today, this was 25 uses. Now it's up to 50. So, fingers crossed, it either gets massively extended, or they just simply remove the usage for this key. It's not a key that needs it. It's not really a key that should have it. It doesn't get you to anything good. It's just an expensive key. It doesn't spawn that frequently, and it costs about 400,000 on the flea market. However, not the end of the world, I suppose. There are ways to repair it. So, also, not the best way, but there are ways to repair it. If you manage to get Jaeger to level 2, which is a feat in and of itself, because of some interesting quest design, you are able to repair the key. He has a barter trade, and in order to complete this transaction, you will require a factory key, 4 Iskra lunchboxes, and 1 MRE lunchbox. These can be found in raid relatively commonly, or they can be bought on the flea market. These are going for about 20-25k each at the moment, although I do expect that to rise, as this is now really the only way you can continue to use the factory key. So, basically, a $400,000 key can be repaired for $100,000. So it kind of makes sense, but it's still not the best. And I mean rubles, not dollars, by the way. Yeah, so that is how it works. It's not the best. It's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully it changes. One thing of note, if you have used the key, maybe check it before you go to use it again, because there are people who have jumped in and have negative uses. Again, this is an interesting decision, but the way that this change has worked is essentially the key counts how many times you use it from its spawn in the game world. And that was before this change was implemented. So I haven't used the factory key since this change was implemented, but I've used it 34 times. So I only have 16 uses left. And like I said, there are some people who have jumped in with negative uses because they've used it over 50 times. So make sure you check the key usage before you use it again. Otherwise, it will break if it is in negative. So make sure you check that. If you can repair it, repair it. If it's getting low, repair it. I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about repairing it. If you've got 16, wait until you get to 1, because that barter is going to be the same regardless. But nevertheless, this is the change that has occurred. Is it a good one? Well, that's debatable. I would be curious to see what you guys think of it. But anyway, guys, hope this was useful. Hope it helped. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.